If we could change with the seasons, like change the seasons of life, actually, I would choose like 3 summers back to back and maybe have 2 springs on the back of that and 1 winter. But unfortunately, we can't do that. We can't dictate what seasons follows which season. The seasons, the weather has been as it is for centuries, and it is what it is. But while we can't change seasons, we can most definitely change with the seasons of life. And that is the topic of today. Today's conversation is about how human beings have the power to change with the seasons of life. What season are you going through right now? Are you going through a winter in your life? Maybe a winter of depression, a winter of grief, a winter of financial crisis. And while that is here and you can't change it, what are you learning about yourself? What are you learning about the season that you're in? In a moment, I'm going to invite Tessa-Marie and Kevin Raymond to join me on this conversation, but I want it to be as interactive as possible. So please put your questions, your thoughts, your comments in the chat, and we can all join time of the year. Everybody loves Christmas, but I also learned that Christmas can be a really sad time for some people. Some people go through a blue Christmas, where it's a season of remembering loved ones who are no longer here, a season of deep depression, anxiety, all kinds of things. Hello,
Hey, how are
Tessa-Marie,
you?
and hello, Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Yeah, I'm
Tessa. How
good.
are
And
you?
yourself?
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
wonderful, thank
Hi.
you.
Excellent.
So, Tessa, meet Kevin Raymond. I know you kind of know each other from Instagram, but not officially met.
It's
Hi.
Kevin,
Kevin,
Tessa-Marie.
I'm correct.
Great.
It's Tessa-Marie.
That's great.
She's
Well,
been
it's
doing
great to
this.
meet you.
She's been doing this for a while, and my father sent me.
Can you not just be Tessa-Marie for me?
And my dad
I mean,
sent me
like
a
with
message from
affection.
heaven. Tell her what your name is.
Okay, Tessa-Marie, I'm so glad to be here with you guys. This moment right here is a season for me to make deep and meaningful connections. Although there's a lot of value in in-person friendship, I also believe in the power of connecting with people through social media in this way. And the conversation that I want us to share today is about the seasons. I don't know if you heard me saying earlier, we can't change the weather and the seasons that we go through in the weather. If we could, guys, this is my order. I would request for 3 consecutive summers, followed by 2 springs and 1 winter.
I love
What
them
about
all.
you, Tessa?
I love them just as they are. They're perfect for me. I love winter. I really love winter.
Okay,
I do winter sports, so I love winter. I love summer. I enjoy that a lot. I love the spring because it's all the new things happening. And the fall just reminds me that it's going to renew again. So I just love the seasons.
I
What about
really
you,
enjoy the
Kevin?
seasons too. Like fall is probably my most favorite season because it's not too cold and it's not too warm, and you can wear different things and start to layer and things like that. And I really love it. And I love winter, but I just don't want to be in it. So, so but I
That's
love going through walks in the park and stuff when it first snows and it's beautiful. But like I live in Montreal, it's incredibly cold. Like it's minus 35 sometimes.
I love Montreal winters.
Do you really?
I lived in Montreal. I grew
Oh,
up part of my early teenage years in Montreal.
wow. They are incredible, and it's like it is fun, but it's a little bit too extreme. So we tend to go away and not stick around for it. So we enjoy the beginning of it and the end of it, and then that's it. And then we just sit around and watch it melt. So, but the summer in Montreal is fantastic. It's like a really, really, really exciting place to be, and there's tons of stuff going on all the time. So it is like it's nice. I don't know if I would probably like to be just in one climate all the time. I think I like the changes as well.
Yeah, I grew an enormous appreciation for changing in seasons when I lived 6 years
Mm.
consecutively in Ghana. I thought it would be my dream life, hot all year round. But you do miss the seasons, and somehow your body also knows,
Yeah.
wait, shouldn't there be another season coming up soon? But you're not getting the
Do
same
you,
change. And then
I was just going to say, like,
sorry, go ahead.
when the seasons change and how it kind of provokes a bit of change in yourself as well, right? It gives you a cause for reflection, and then it allows you that time to sort of, in the winter you sort of hanker down, and then you kind of reorganize inside your house, and then you reorganize some things in your life. In the spring as well, you start new things and do different things. So I think it's kind of it coincides with what happens in your life. And some people, they tend to find winter a depressing time, or kind of a gray time, and it can be very gray several days in a row. But when you go out and you look at it, like, I think one of the best things to watch in the winter is kids, because they enjoy it so much, right? And they not not even like, even if it's like snowing, but they enjoy the mess of winter as well, which I'm sure their parents don't. But I love watching kids just go, like, jumping in puddles, and then just piles of dirty snow and stuff like that. And they just have such a great time. So it's kind of great. I like it.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the best city in the world to
Yeah.
live in is Montreal. I lived in Montreal in the early 70s, late 60s,
Oh yeah?
and that was a fabulous. You could dance on the tables on.
Yeah, it's a little bit different now. There's a few more issues here now
I
that
know, but it's amazing there. Montreal it's really
crazy.
it's so
But
much.
yes.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
you
yet to
will.
visit Montreal. Okay, guys, listen, I want to know more about the current season that you're in your life. How would you describe the present season of your life? Where are you
I'm in
now,
Montreal, I just said.
Kevin?
Are you not listening?
Using the seasons as an
Did,
analogy, is this a spring for you? Are you in harvest mode? Are you in the
I
fall?
think I'm,
Are you in winter?
you're
What would you
asking
say?
me? So I would say that, like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a harvesting mood right now. So I'm kind of getting things together, and I'm putting together new bits of information and trying to offer my clients new things, and a lot of life changes and things like that. So I think it's like, it's kind of a growth period at the wrong time of the year for planting, but that's me. So I don't mind. But it is all like, it's kind of, you're reassessing what happened all year. You're kind of, so you're just sort of gathering everything that you've acquired for the year, and then you're starting to sort of look at it and see what you can do with it, and where you can go with it, and how you can utilize it for the next year, for spring, and how you can plant it and make it grow, basically. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Nice. A harvest season. I like that.
I
What
am
about
in
you,
the
Tessa?
observation season, so I'm in a season of
What does that look?
learning, observing, and listening. I am in
Mm,
that season that is just it's just an open thing. Everything is out there. So what I do, I spend a lot, and that I've been in that season for a while. I'm observing, I learn, I listen, and then I share as the need be. And that's a unique place to be. It's like I'm boxing on four corners, and I love
hmm.
it. So I can turn
Nice.
to observing, listening, then I just come times you share, and you just learn and continue going. That's where I am.
What have you learned in this season that maybe stopped you in your tracks, or you took particular notice to it?
What I've learned, what I've observed, because that's how I learn. What I've observed in this season is how many people that I meet that are not aware of all the wonderful bits and pieces and tiny, amazing things in their life. I'm so it it really shocks me to for so many of us are not seeing that the tiny successes and the tiny amazing things, and so many people tend to zero in on all the horrible things in their life, and they greet you with it, and it's like sometimes it's overpowering. It just comes at you, and they never remember to realize that, hey, I'm breathing, and that is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's a good point, actually. And it's so common. Like, people just get so wrapped up in negativity and the things that are not going well, that they're not learning from those experiences, and then they're not enjoying the things that they can enjoy. And so many things pass by their lives because they're not living in the moment, right? They're so wrapped up in all that other stuff. So that's a really good point to bring up.
Yeah, that's great. Personally, I'm in a season of learning to be uncomfortable, but not, it's a self-inflicted discomfort. So either in my workout or just stretching myself to understand that as long as it's intentional and is leading me towards something, can I be comfortable in a season where I can introduce things that is outside my comfort zone, or it feels a little bit stretched, or it feels a little bit uncomfortable? And can I let all that, don't do it, no, all that self-talk come up and still be okay with it? All right. I'm also in a season of going for my joy with craziness, like really going for my goals. So as you both know, this weekend I went to Lakewood Church, which is something that I really wanted to do. And a few versions of me ago, I would have said, what, go to America just for Sunday, one day and come back.
Yeah.
Why not?
For sure.
Well, why not? And as usual, as a mom, all the things, but the kids and all this came up. And I just decided that what if I can just carve some time for me, a couple of days, put the right structures in place to safeguard it and just go for it. Because I also realized that sometimes the story that I tell myself about, I'm a mom and I'm busy and I can't, I don't have time, Tessa, you do your self-care rituals. Actually, I can make time. I can ask for help. I can put the pause button to prioritize something that I want to do, and nothing falls apart. Okay, my house wasn't as neat as I like it over the weekend, but it's fine. Life continues, but I'm also in the season of intentionally going for my joy, knowing that I'm the person to create it. And I can work towards living a happier, more fulfilled life if I schedule it, plan it. Just as much as we plan our goals and dreams and that, can I plan some creativity, fun, and things that, you know, I make intentionally creating beautiful memories.
You can plan them.
Okay.
You can plan to take time for you.
Absolutely.
You can always plan time to take time for you. The excuses we make, oh, the kids are little, the baby is not asleep. We have all these 101 excuses, and every decade of our life, or half decade, because the baby that was a baby is now 5, we're still making an excuse. The baby is 10, we're still making an excuse. Our husband is this, we're still making an excuse. Our wife is that. So in between the making of the excuses, take that time to make a plan. So I started that very early. You talk about my self-care show and my self-care routines and all of that. I'm huge on that. I'm really. But I realized that I cannot be there if I'm not happy or joyful. Happiness is a moment in time. If that I'm not joyful and I'm not enjoying me. So I started waking up earlier to get those half an hour, that hour. And my mom, okay, she had 8 children and tons of help, because that is how it was in her time. And yet, when I first tried it at the estate, when I went to visit, I thought I was getting up early, and I did, until I came around the corner to sit on the porch looking at the sun rising, and there she was. And she looked at me and she said, oh, so you do that too? And I said, do you? She said, I've been doing that since you guys were little. I needed that 20 minutes, half an hour, just to be with myself. And she carved it out. And yet she was such a busy woman. So who am I with one job and 3 children not to carve time for me? This woman ran businesses and had children and people to take care of, to supervise. And she still carved her time out by waking up early. So you have to realize you're worthy of that.
How lucky you are to have a role model like your mum, so closely and intimately, to get all this know-how and wisdom, and seeing somebody achieve some time for themselves. That's great. So Tessa, what is a season that you're scheduling for yourself coming up?
What kind of season I'm scheduling for myself coming up? A season of accepting that, okay, your big thing is that, for example, you know, I changed a few things with my night show. I stopped doing it, and it was something I enjoy doing. And every time I wanted to change it, I said to myself, well, it's only half an hour. And of course it was half an hour. And then all of a sudden, I decided I'm going to do that. So I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what would have happened. I had no plans, but I knew I had to stop the night show. So I stopped it. And lo and behold, it was
Was
5
it
days a
every
week.
night? 5 days a week?
And I did it because I wanted, the purpose of doing it is wanting to get better at doing what I do. So I practiced.
Yeah.
That was always sharpening my axe so I could cut more trees if my axe is sharp. So I didn't realize all of what I'm saying to you is what these were my thoughts. And then the moment I stopped doing the night show, something lifted off me and then something filled me. So I had no idea where I was going because I follow guidance a lot. And then all of a sudden, I have to go do the talk here. Somebody hires me to do this here. Somebody wants me to coach them here, which I had never thought would have opened up. I have never been the person that has gone looking for something, like looking for a man or looking for a job. It always seemed to be guided to throw at me. So I didn't realize that. So I found out, hey, you have to just do what you're supposed to do and see what comes out of it. So I don't know what you want to call that season. So every day I commit myself to doing the things that I must do. And I let the rest come.
That's so nice, Tessa. And as you say that, I have an image of a trapeze artist in my head. You know, they're on the swing, and to grab the next thing in front of them, they have to let go of the thing in the back, right? So that's a really nice analogy, that whenever you let go of something that doesn't feel like it's serving you anymore, it makes space for something new to come your way that you hadn't anticipated. All these unexpected opportunities and invitations for you to do different work that's clearly making you happy.
Let me just say this because it just came back, and that is where I learned it. When a door shows up, I push it open to see what's behind it. Now, that is funny. I'm not a big TV watcher. I don't have the energy to sit still for that long. And during the 2004 American presidential thing, 2008, I think, Obama, and Sarah Palin, she's a Christian. And when it was all over, somebody said to her, "What are you going to do?" And she said, "Well, when a door comes in front of me, I push it open." Before that, I never thought of it. So I am the person that catch bits from others and I pull on it. And that is something from then on, I thought, you know, why not? Something comes in front of you, push it. And that has really served me well.
Yes, have that curiosity and wonder to see what's behind the door. I like that, Tessa. Thank you. What about you, Kevin? What's your upcoming intentional
probably
season?
more growth than anything else. Just taking what I acquired this year and what I want to do and the things I want to change. And I think it's all about growing for me and extending my field of expertise and going into new ventures, things like that.
Can you be a bit more specific? Is there a specific area in your growth and personal development that you're going to be focused on like growing your finances, growing your clients, growing
yes,
your
I would
muscles?
like an 18-inch arm. So I'll be lifting weights. No, I think, you know, I want to grow my business, which in turn would grow my finances, which in turn would grow my, you know, outlook on things. And so it's a kind of an all-rounded place to be. I'm kind of working towards having more independence. You know, my partner's getting ready to retire, so I want to be able to spend more time doing that. I don't want to not work though, because I like what I do. I love my coaching and I want to continue doing that. So it's just more about, you know, reformatting and getting a different kind of perspective on where I want to go and bringing it all together to make sure it works. So that the fortunate thing about what we do as coaches, we can do it anywhere. We don't need to be in a fixed space or an office in the same place all the time. We can go where we want. So yeah, that, and I want to do a lot more in-person type things than than all Zoom and online, because I think it would be a little bit more exciting and a lot more adventurous. And it's always nice to see people and be with people, and to just stretch your limits. So.
Nice, Kevin. Tessa often talks about this on her show, that when you speak out a thing, right? When you speak out a goal, when you speak out a dream, when you speak out an intention, you're more likely to get it, because you're putting it into the mist, you're putting it into the atmosphere, and you're more likely to manifest it towards yourself. That's why I was asking you to be specific. I Am Butterfly Thoughts says that's her phrase for 2024, do the thing. So, Tessa, what's your phrase for 2024?
For 2024, I have already set my goals. They're sealed in an envelope, and they're not to be opened until 31st of December 2024, November.
When was it written? Okay. Is that your normal ritual and practice?
Kimberly Butterfly Thoughts. I share that with them, and Stacy. They all know that, and I think they all practice it. The purpose for that is I only hear words and I see pictures. So, which is funny. My background is finance, but somehow I end up stumbling on the 5 pillars of prosperity through finance. And what I know for sure is we plan a vacation like you planned going to Texas with so much care and precaution, making sure there were meals for the kids and all of that, and your husband, everybody he knew where his socks were. And we do that so well because we're going on vacation. But the most important journey we're on, we do not make plans for it as well. So everybody is going to plan on the 1st of January 2024, the morning they got up, or they stayed late, they maybe never drank anything. They just, okay, I'm going to make some, some New Year's resolution, which is really goals, but that is the new word or the old word, whatever. And by the 15th, 75% of them are dead. Yes, 10%.
15th of January.
Yeah, 2 weeks into the year, 75% of them are dead. 15% are on life support. They might last till March, and 10% make it to December 31st. So that person, the 75% and the 15% people, what has happened is that they ran through the train station with their ticket in hand, and luckily they were able to swing onto the train and got on board. And then the 10% people were waiting for the train.
Okay, so based on the people that you coach, why do you think the statistic is the way it is? Why do 75% of people lose sight of their goals and intentions 2 weeks into the year? Like, what was the power behind the intention? Did they really want it?
Everybody wants to have. Everybody wants it. But what happened is is to preparation. My dad used to tell us the 5 P's, he called it. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So I grew up under that type of thing. How do you prepare? You plan. So in November, you know there's nothing you can do now unless you win the lottery to pay off all your debts by December. So what are you going to do? So that's when you sit down and you look at where you are and you look at where you want to go for the next year. And they don't do that. And they do it flippantly. Oh, I want to pay off my debt. I want to lose 20 pounds. While they're having a whole bag of chips watching somebody behave badly on television.
What? You can't do that?
They're watching some reality show and they're talking about things you do not know. There's one commercial of a lady who's hoof pains. She says to us, after an hour, your body starts to smell. So she created this cream that you apply to all the crevices in your body. And I'm thinking, what about Supernova? And she looks greasy. And she actually looks like this. She looks like she needs a shower.
She's filled with crevice cream.
Yeah, she looks like she needs a shower. And you're like, you put a dab there, and I'm thinking, what is this? But I see those things, and there might have been a whole show, and that's all I remember. Because I want to tell you, for self-care show, no, take care of yourself. So anyway, going back to where we were, the point of it is that if you want to get on the train for 2024, you have to have your ticket in 2023.
But
You
the
must
thing is,
have the ticket.
yeah,
And your
and
ticket is what do you desire?
yes, and I think one of the biggest things, Tessa, that people don't do what you said. Like, you make your plan, you do this, you do that. People all want that to happen. They all want this success. They all want the results. They all want to pay their debt, but nobody's willing to do the work. And I think that's where the biggest, 80% of the people fall short, is because they don't want to do the work and they don't stick to it. That's why, January, the first week of January, the gym is packed, right? So
I
then,
know.
and I'm going to say it, like, that's why when I go to the gym in January, I can say I'm going to have the biggest arms in this gym by the end of the year, because I know by the end of December, I'm going to be the only person there.
Which December?
So,
You don't have to wait until December.
no, I know. No, but I'm just saying
You
that.
have any machine you want.
Exactly. That's what I mean, right? Like, it's just
Yeah.
that people don't stick with it and they don't keep doing it, and they want it, but they don't do it. And it's the same for absolutely everything that we do in our lives. Like, we talk to the people all the time in our coaching and everything, and it's the same stuff. They all want these changes, but they end up not doing the work, and that's the whole key. That's why there's 20% of the population, or 1% of the population, is so successful, because they are the ones that do the work. That's, everybody has 24 hours in a day. Everybody has the same amount of time. It's what you do with that time that's going to make the difference for you. And that's part of being able to open your envelope at the end of the year, and seeing that everything is done, is because you do the work. You've done the work. You're going to do the work all year, and you're going to be happy when you open your envelope, right? And you're not going to, somebody somebody's going to open the envelope and say, who the hell wrote this? Right? I didn't do that, right? But, you have to put it in all the
But
time.
you see, Kevin, it's the words that makes the difference. It's the words that we use. So in my coaching, I just changed the word work. And I said, you have to take an action.
Yes,
Because when they hear the word work, we hear it all the time.
yeah,
And it means nothing. And I do the work, and everybody's saying to do the work. It's like the people who say to you, pay yourself first, but nobody's telling you how to pay yourself first.
exactly, right?
So do the work. So I ask people to watch your words. So every time they tell me, Tessa, I want to be rich, I said, no, stop wanting, because want is a vessel, that's huge, but it has no bottom. So everything you put in it falls right through. So what about if you give it some love and call it, I desire to be wealthy, or choose your words and see. So I change work to action. I say, you have to take these actions. These are the steps you need to take.
Yeah.
And if they see it as work, because that's how we see the English language, it's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging. So that is what I found. As I said, when somebody speaks to me, I do not hear so much the tone, I hear the words. Because if I hear the word, I'm also seeing the tone.
Because they visualize the words, right? Because like, when you say work, you're like, horrible. When you see action, action pumps you up, and you want to, let's do this, let's go,
let's do it.
Right?
Yes.
Instead of like work.
Or somebody comes in.
But guys, you know that most people want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get to heaven. Most people just want to end up in heaven, but they don't want to die to heaven. Okay, so listen, what is it? Sunday night, I was at Houston Airport, going to the airport. So local time, it would have been like 5 p.m. their time. That means daylight. That means there's a little bit of sun. The weather was gorgeous. But my body clock said 11:30 at night. And all of a sudden I had this state of drowsiness that was bigger than sleep. Like, the jet lag just hit me, because I only arrived the day before as well. So I didn't even get a chance to acclimatize. And I went with the feeling, and I observed it, because this is what it must feel like for us as coaches when we get clients and we're trying to change them. Everything in their body wants to sleep, wants to quit, wants to stop, because it's rough. Change is hard. We've forgotten how bad it is, because we're always putting ourselves in change. But change is really hard. And at the airport, I'm trying to smile and engage with people and be nice with the pilots, because, they're my husband's colleagues and that. But I was exhausted. I was so tired. And then it reminded me, oh, Anna, this is what your clients are feeling. That first 3 months of sticking to something, trying to change, trying to adopt a new habit. The desire is there. The reason is big, but the body just wants to reject it. And I think that's why some people quit. But the difference that makes the difference is to having somebody next to you, that support, that cheerleading. You know, like even as kids, when you, like this time of the year, I'm going to watch my daughter do nativity plays and do stuff at church and do readings. I see how she performs when she connects eyes with me, or most kids do, and see that somebody's winking at you, cheering you on, encouraging you. Us as coaches, we also have coaches, people who coaches us, and I know what a massive difference, Kevin, you make in my life. There are many things that I would pardon myself. I'll do that tomorrow. I have the best intentions. I have the biggest reasons. They're super important. But there's something also true about having deadlines and having accountability.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wouldn't you say? So that we don't quit, because quitting is available to us all. And there's a hack for sticking to the program and sticking on the course. And I think it's challenging to do stuff alone. That's why coaching, mentoring, any kind of support groups makes a massive difference when you really are so certain about, here's my intention for the year. So Tessa, if I told you I want to make $1 million by the end of 2024, it's not what I've been practicing in 2023 that's going to get me that $1 million. I'm going to have to surround myself with like-minded, heart-minded people who have done it or are doing it together. What does that look like on a breakdown monthly? It's not what I'm going to do in January. It's going to have to be from January to December. How does that break down in each month? And if I don't perform the way I want to in 1 month, how can I multiply my impact? How can I 10x? Grant Cardone talks about 10xing your activities. So I think success is not difficult, but it's different. And choosing to do different things comes with so much discomfort, because it feels scary, it feels big, it feels different, it feels uncomfortable. And that's why people quit.
I don't know if that's why they quit. I know if it's a pop-up in their head, I want to have $1 million by the end of 2024. That's my goal. Okay, fine. So the first thing is, what do you plan to do to get there? So that's why when I coach, I ask people to give me 5 things you want to accomplish in your life. I don't say 5 things you want, 5 things you desire to accomplish in your life. What are they? And many times I have refused to coach people that want to pay me, and I say, no, here's your money back. You're not ready to do that, because if you want $1 million, you cannot decide it's going to pop up. Some people have told me, because of finance, my retirement is from the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery and I will retire because I'll win a big lottery and I'll have money, and that is their plan. So, and that was what I would hear when I worked at the bank. That's going to be my plan. I don't need retirement. I'm going to win the lottery. And then maybe 10, 15 years later, I see them telling me, welcome to Walmart. And obviously that didn't happen. They retired without it, and now they're at Walmart. So when somebody tells us they want $1 million, I never say it's not attainable. Of course it's attainable, but it's not. It doesn't come in a shower, and it's a trickle, but it's a constant trickle every day. I come from an estate, so I know what it is to see the rain, the torrential rain in the mountains that wipes off the topsoil. And my dad had to get the people to put in gutters to catch the topsoil. But when it rained for 2 days and it was not heavy, it was just a constant medium type of shower, they were all smiling, because it gave them the soil, the type of way they needed it for them to plant. So when somebody says they want $1 million, the first thing is, what are your plans to get it? And you have to find out what they say. You can guide them there. You cannot change their attitude, and you might have to break it down. I had somebody who told me that at a seminar. They want $1 million by the end of the year. And I said, okay, well, when did you make your first 100,000? So they didn't even know that already this year they had accomplished like $300,000, when the year before all they had was 70,000, because they did not celebrate the successes as they go so that they would know. So he had $300,000 of success already, really. And then he found out, and I said, go find out what you did. I had a feeling he did. And he did, and he came back. I said, well, this year you did that. That doesn't mean you won't get to your million in 2024, 25, but you have to keep building on it. It's compounding it. That matters. Yeah.
The compound effect is so true. George in the chat is saying, that's where stepping out of faith when we are uncomfortable, trusting in the process to continue the journey. So based on what Tessa said, Kevin, something came up for me, okay? Do you think some people are uncoachable, i.e. they don't have the state of readiness to commit to being a coachable client? And have you had an uncoachable client that you've had to let them go before?
Absolutely. There's, some people are not coachable, and some people, a lot of people feel that they might be coachable, but, upon speaking with them and going through the process of what's involved and things like that, some people are just not prepared to do the accountability that's necessary that goes with coaching, because they don't want to commit. They don't want to make that kind of commitment. And that's a coaching session in itself, right? Like, what is stopping you from making that commitment to do better for yourself? Like, why are you not allowing yourself to do better? Because it's an ego thing, and your ego is protecting you. And it's, back to that same thing where, you're stopping yourself. Don't do that. Like, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get, this isn't going to work. You're going to look like an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But there's also people who are just defiant about it and have that sense of an attitude where they just are going to go and argue or do the opposite of everything you ask them to do. And I've had in my career as a coach several people that are like that won't change, don't want to change, and they're just out there to prove you wrong, in the sense that, like, you can't change me, and I'm going to prove to you that you can't change me, and that's okay.
Nothing works.
I know, right?
I've tried
that's okay,
it all.
but I mean, I'm not gonna chase you down to change your life. That's not my job. Like, I'm here to help you because you want help, and I will do anything you need. I will bend over backwards to help you and make sure that you reach and exceed your goals, but you need to put in the work. That's the job. Like, that's the simple task of coaching. This is what you need to do. This is what has to get done, and you need to be accountable. And some people need that, because, like, I need that. I need somebody to say, Kevin, what did you do? Like, why aren't you doing this yet? Like, why isn't this done? Right. And I like to have that, just like a client would like to have that, because you need it. It's a guide. It's a trail for you to follow. It's like the little popcorn trail that you're just going to be picking up along the way and achieving your goals as you go. Right. It's very important. And it's up to you as a coach to also realize that you could waste your time working with somebody that doesn't want to be coached, or you can give your time to somebody that actually wants to change their lives. So that's up to you. And you gotta watch for that. Not everybody can do everything, right?
And it's not everybody that is suitable for you.
Well,
there's some people that is not that you cannot coach them, or but it's not. You can't be I am a tough coach. I'm really tough.
Yeah. It's a personality thing.
I don't call you. You have a meeting. You're supposed to be here on time. I'm not going to remind you. You're an adult. You pay for this. Show up. And then when you don't, it's your choice. You're losing. And so that, I didn't get what I was looking for. Well, did you go looking for it? Did you do it?
Yeah.
And that is why coaching is not for everybody. But we are all coaches. We coach every day without knowing that we're coaching. Because when someone sees what we're doing, they want to emulate us. And maybe it's a child, maybe it's another adult, it's a friend. But we are coaches all the time. So that's why whether you're coaching 100 people or one person, you have to just do your best at it. And whether 10 people are watching you or one person is watching you and you're doing an IG live, you have to be the best at it. But sometimes you go to somebody's live and they say to you, well, let's just wait until more people come on. And I'm thinking, really?
Let's just go. I think just on the same line as that, just to be clear, just because I can't somebody that I'm not able to coach doesn't mean that there isn't a coach out there for them. They could
There's
call the
a-
next coach and be very successful with them, right?
Mhm.
Like that. So, you know, that's just something that I want to make sure people understand. And then two, again, is, you know, some people just aren't ready at the time, right? They think that they might be, and then you just need a little bit more time to get to that point, right? So just sort of expand.
I think as coaches, we can show up, like you said, with the best intention to support the client, but ultimately we cannot get into the client's brain and change their mindset around, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. I can't change what you believe to be true for yourself. So, and coaching, Tessa, as you're talking about, it's a real grown-up sport. It takes a certain level of maturity, a certain level of taking responsibility, even to the point of some personal accountability, that I'm committed to this. This is what I'm going to dedicate my attention, my energy, my focus. And obviously having a really big enough reason why you want this shift or change or transition. You know, you want to get to another version of you by whatever that due date is. I wanted to ask you both another question, a final question, because we've been here for a while. So who's your ideal clients? Kevin, who's your ideal client?
My ideal client actually is currently a CEO who is, you know, running and started a company and is at that point where he or she needs to change what they're doing and allow other people to do the job so that they can continue to be the innovation for the organization that they're with, and ensure that the people that they're delegating these responsibilities to have the ability to do the jobs that they're doing and the proper training and learning and development and moving forward. There you go.
And where do they find
Kevin
you,
Raymond
Kevin?
Coaching on IG, at kevtalk.net on my website. Everything you need is there.
Okay, and I know that you've got a special offer coming up. Do you want to plug away? I'm giving you the space to.
So for between now and January 15th, I'm doing a kind of an appreciation offer, 80% off of all of my coaching programs. It's an excellent discount, and actually it's a payback for all the people that support me throughout the year. So if you're an individual and you're looking for specific coaching on, you know, reaching your goals for the end of the year, or trying to plan for next year to make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve, if you want to get your organization in good shape for the end of the year, this is where you're going to go. So all you have to do, you look kevtalk.net, or get me on IG at Kevin Raymond Coaching, and you know, just put a DM in there and we'll chat and I'll get you set up. No problem.
Oh, okay. And sorry,
so this offer
date.
is available
How long is this
from
offer
now
available
until
for?
January 15th. And then I'm also, like, it combines all of my programs. So I have a 3, 6, 12-month program. I have a corporate program. So too much to talk about on here, but you know, if you just DM me, send me a message, I'll be happy to send you the information that relates to what you're looking for.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take advantage of that, guy. 80% off. I don't believe I've seen you doing an offer this whole year. So anybody who's thinking,
did you just call me cheap?
She just had to let the cat out of the bag. You had to let the cat out of the bag, didn't you?
Yeah. What about you, Tessa-Marie? Who's your ideal client? Where do they find you? And do you have anything
on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, on Facebook, I am on TikTok. And you can find me, just send a message. I actually give free classes to people to introduce them to this, because of the coaching is something that you have to be dedicated to. So if you're interested, you DM me and I will tell you what you can have free from me, because it depends on where you are, what we're doing in your life. So I'll give you some free coaching to give you things to think about. So that's why before I coach someone, I have a Zoom conversation with them for an hour, because I need to know what it is they're looking for and if I'm capable of bringing them to that level in their life, or the changes that I would ask them to incur, that they can do that. So, and then I have all 120 books on Amazon, my coaching coaching journal, my book approved, my gratitude journal, and my very first book, Controlling the Debt Monster, and the Morning Blessings. And there's more.
Wow.
Amazing.
A bag of books.
Lots and lots of publications. Is that available on Amazon
no,
or your own website?
I did not create a website purposely. I just didn't. It's a long story. I don't like the idea. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Okay.
I have a reason why.
So
but
guys,
you can get in touch with me there, and I'll give you. Yeah. I coached for free for 20. Is last year I started actually charging. So from 2000, I coached all that time for free. And the thing is, the people that I am coaching now are still people that want more. And they were those that I started with in 2000. I have a lot of new ones. And I give a discount when you refer somebody on, because I charge you in groups of 6 weeks at a time. And so I coach on, it's life skills, all of it. The 5 pillars of prosperity, that's my big thing. Emotional prosperity, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial. So that's what I coach, because most people come to me because of my background for finance. And then when I'm digging through finance, I found out, okay, so spiritually, you do not believe that rich people are good. So that's why you spend all your money. So that's, so it fits that way. So I enjoy doing it, and I love talking, as you can see. So I do a lot of groups. I do a lot of group conversation. People invite me for their chapters, and I talk to them about different things.
Right. Well, guys, you heard it here first. We can't change the season, but we can certainly change ourselves. If you're in a season in your life that you're thinking, I want more, there's more to my existence than what I'm living now. Maybe you want to feel more joy. Maybe it's more love, more in your finances, more in your spirituality. I brought you 2 top coaches here, both in Canada, that are happy to serve you. Kevin at a massive 80% discount, booked before the 15th of January. And Tessa-Marie, she does a discovery call. Most part of it can be free, or, she has different rates. So please reach out to them. But don't stay stuck. Don't stay in a season that's, extending its time. If you feel you're ready for change, and as we spoke about, not everybody's coachable, but if you really are there, you think, I want to do more, I want to have more, I want to see my most successful and most powerful version of myself, and you can't do it alone, you're not supposed to do it alone. We all need help. As we've spoken about, we as coaches, we even have coaches, we even have people supporting us, guiding us, encouraging us, uplifting us, believing in us. All of this makes a massive difference. So take advantage of this new season that's coming up for change. New year, as Tessa was talking about, we all make resolutions, but don't be that category. Don't jump into that 75% they quit by the 15th of January. Ask yourself, how can I let it go into December 2024? I want to write, like Tessa talked about, November for 2025, but I want to tick all my goals that's been achieved, and I'm going to do it, but I'm going to stick to it, and I'm going to stick to it because I'm going to be dedicated. I'm going to be dedicated because I'm going to have people in my corner who are rooting for me, believing in me. And as you've seen, it doesn't have to be a massive expense. You can get support. So reach out for help. Thank you, Tessa-Marie. Thank you, Kevin. Do you have any closing words before we wrap up?
Get that.
I am sure it's somebody that wants to sell. Somebody that wants to sell me a new roof. They want to sell us a roof.
I love it. Okay. Well, everybody have an amazing holiday.
I love it.
If we don't connect again, I'm sure I'll be talking to you again, Amma. But in case I don't see you, Tessa, take care. It was a great pleasure meeting you today. I'm sure we'll speak again. So enjoy, and we'll see you at the gym.
Well, Kevin.
Okay, the only ones on the equipment. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Stacey.
I've seen you with Amma. Come and listen to you guys. Put a few comments. It's been a pleasure to meet you. I'm so grateful that Amma gave me that opportunity to meet a Canadian and somebody from Montreal. So that's what's great. Thanks, Kimberly. So nice. Thanks, Stacey. Thanks to everybody for coming. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Have the most amazing Christmas.
And
Fantastic New
Take
same
Year
to
care.
you.
as well.
Love
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.
Bye-bye.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye, everyone.